mentorship is getting the experience without the pain of it.
Okare Shaba is a computer scientist, LinkedIn influencer, and CEO of Padocare, which is a healthcare recruitment company seeking to solve the problems in the UK's £23 billion healthcare recruitment industry.
Just before COVID came, I had the inspiration to have a telemedicine patient-doctor care. And that's where Padocare came from. We solved three main problems, which is first the recruitment part, then the compliance, then payroll.
While building a successful tech startup, Okare has also built a very successful personal brand with over 60,000 followers on LinkedIn, and he thinks everyone should build one too.
Excellence that is in silence would never outshine mediocrity, who is outspoken. I went on a 1-year posting spree on LinkedIn. It started from 1 like to 14 likes. Then at the time it just picked up. So we have no choice but to prioritize showing up online.
His journey has not been free of challenges, but he now embraces them as a necessary part of accomplishing success.
The challenges and setbacks are placed by the universe, by God, to shape us. People look at challenges and think about challenges as the roadblock. The challenges itself is the road.
From care worker to CEO, this is Okare Shaba, and this is Critical Factor.
Okare, branding expert, entrepreneur. Welcome to Critical Factor.
Thank you for having me.
And one of the things that jump out when anyone meets you is that big smile of yours and the energy. Tell me about that. Where does that come from?
Wow, where does that come from? I think, as a child, I've always had this energy that, I never knew where to channel it to. I was born a triplet. I've got 2 sisters and myself. And we grew up in a very, modest environment in an academic setting, University of Ibadan. And most times people would just be like, where do you have this energy from? I was so skinny, you can see I'm still skinny. I was really skinny, very small, but I had energy. I just had energy to just do more, I won different race in primary school, staff school, I was a prefect. I just had this energy. And sometimes I use it, I didn't know where to channel it to. So I always get into trouble. And as I grew up more and more, I realized that, okay, this energy can be channeled in the right direction. And I started looking at purpose and then using that with energy. Then that just changed the course of my life. And everyone just said, you've changed. You've changed. What happened to you? You've changed. Because growing up, I wanted to experience life. I wanted to know what life was all about. So I tested every part of it. I was a club boy in the university. I did everything that you can think of. I smoked, I drank, I went to club, I did everything. And then I realized that, you know what, all these things were all vanity. And then I found purpose. And then I used my energy with that purpose. Oh my goodness. And that was it. That was when everything about my life just took a different direction. Right in the university, I started my first business. It's called Obi. And, we won top 2 startup in Nigeria. I went to Finland. And, the rest is history. I'm here today.
Such a good intro there. I know you've said a lot already, but to that person who's watching, who doesn't know you, I mean, they already have an idea now based on your background. What one thing would you want them to take away from this session?
I would let them know that they need to give their best. Everything worth doing is worth doing well. Whenever you find yourself doing something, give nothing less than your best. It's either you do it or you don't. And if you've committed to do something, make sure you finish it. If it is worth doing, do it well. And when you start something, always finish it. That's it.
Awesome. And you obviously have started quite a lot, but I think I'll take us back to when you were 10, because you did talk about having a mentor who introduced you to coding, and in your words, it basically set a fire in your life that changed the trajectory of your life. Take us back to that moment. Tell us about that.
Absolutely great. So, like life is beautiful, isn't it? And in our journey of life, God brings us in contact with different people who aligns with our destiny. So, like I said initially, like I grew up in a community where, you know, everyone was, on a lower middle class, and everyone was just doing all what they did. However, we attended Chapel of the Resurrection. Then this man came all the way from the UK, and he called a couple of people like, okay, it's come all the way from UK. I want to teach you coding. It was actually robotics. At that time, what we saw was just a toy car that could move. It didn't make sense to us at that time. But we wrote code. We wrote code that made the robot car move forward and move backward. We didn't really understand it. We dry run it, write it on paper, sell out, whatever language it was. I can't even remember right now. But that was the tragedy. That was the tipping point that set the entire course of my life, that ended up making me go to study computer science in the University of Ibadan just because of that singular experience. That experience was just something that happened. I never thought about it, but it changed the course of my life. I don't know what I would have done. I don't know if I would have been a coder if that experience didn't happen. And that is why whenever anyone find the opportunity to impact in young people's life, please do well to spark something that will change their life. No, do well to bring something that will spark something that will change their life, and not something that will make them regret ever meeting you. So that was it for me, and it changed my life forever.
And I think, on the basis of that, how important would you then say, even though you've kind of touched on it, is mentorship? Because essentially that mentorship, that contact, that opportunity is literally what has brought you where you are. So talk about mentorship. For that person who's listening, who thinks, well, I can do it all by myself, I can figure it out. Tell them about mentorship and the importance of it.
So mentorship is getting the experience without the pain of it. So when you get into mentorship, I will tell anyone, you cannot get to that place that you want to get to without someone. There is something how God did it in such a way that in life, you cannot move up without someone bringing you up. And what that means is a mentor gives you that opportunity for you to go up, for you to move, to get their experience without the pain of it. Imagine if you wanted to start a business and someone has failed and gone through all the path. There is the shortest distance between where you are and where you want to get to. And mentorship helps you to get to that place. So for me, mentorship is everything, because I received, hence I decided to give back. So when I went to serve in the, after graduating, I was like, first and first, I am here today because someone gave to me. Guess what I did? As soon as I finished my NYSC, even right there in NYSC, it was all about kids. It was all about giving back. It was all about planting the seed in their lives. Oh my goodness, if I tell you the amount of lives that has changed, I got a message a while ago. Someone told me, oh, thank you very much. I'm now a project manager. Why? Because I exposed them to coding. From 9 years to 19 years old, we exposed them to coding. We got grants from Google to run African Code Week, and we were able to impact over 800 children. Amazing. Their lives have never been the same ever. One of them is in the UK right now, married. She's got a child. She just still call me Curious Shaba, because we taught them how to survive, how to thrive in the corporate environment. We taught them skills. We gave back to them. I can also tell you about another experience. I went back to the same church that gave me that opportunity. I decided to go back there, and I saw someone right there. I was teaching them whatever it was I was teaching them at that time. And I told one kid, I told them to recite like a memory verse. And this kid could not read. And then the professor's children were laughing at this young boy that grew up in the same neighborhood I grew up from. And this child could not read. And I was like, no, 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 don't do that. Don't do that. I brought cookie and everything. I encouraged the boy. He was struggling to read. We encouraged him. As soon as they finished, I told everyone, roll it for him. Just roll it for him and jam it, jam it. Immediately the guy got, he was enthused and everything. Guess what? The next week, this boy went home, memorized this scripture, and came back. I was almost in tears. This is the same boy that could not read, that could not memorize. He came back the next week. It only took a week. I kid you not, that boy's life has changed forever. I just need to even go and find out what he's doing right now. That is the power of mentorship. It is a seed that you sow. You don't know the value of how that seed is going to grow into a tree. And so mentorship is what will give you that opportunity to get to where you want to go to. And that, till today, I still network upward.
Oh, we're definitely going to come to your networking. But then now you run a company called Padocare.
Yes, I do.
Which is essentially, healthcare recruitment is like a 10 billion pound business, opportunity.
23 billion.
23 now. Oh, my research is even off by a couple of pounds or a couple of billion pounds. Now, you're tackling that problem. How did you get into that, and how is that going currently?
Yeah, I was just talking about it just moments ago. So, pre-COVID, 2017, just before COVID came, I had the inspiration to have a telemedicine patient-doctor care. And that's where Padocare came from. So I've had Padocare since 2017. But it was ahead of its time. Just the same way my first project was ahead of its time. So we had to wait. Because we tried building it, everyone was so busy trying to, assert their skill and experience. The project went nowhere. Fast forward into 2023 when I got into the UK. The plane touched down in Heathrow and I found my way down in Sunderland. In Sunderland, we just got our apartment, got where we were staying. And all of a sudden, I had no job. Actually, this is what happened. As we touched down on a Saturday, when we got down on that Saturday, I uploaded my CV to Indeed and everything. Monday morning, my phone was ringing non-stop from recruiters. Oh, I've seen Okare, we saw your CV, blah, blah, blah. That call was always short-lived because when they asked, what visa are you on? And I'm like, I'm on a student visa. I was like, oh, sorry. So after like the first 5 calls, I was the one that would tell them that I'm on a student visa. And then we'll just have a little chit chat. Exactly. Let's not waste each other's time. Exactly. So that experience happened. And all of a sudden, coming in with over a decade experience in tech, I couldn't get a job. Then the person who helped us get a house told me about a care recruitment, domiciliary care job. So, I was just like, okay, let me give it a shot. And then enrolled me, all this thing, the training, everything. I went through it and then, I was posted to Carlisle. I didn't even know where Carlisle was. And by the time I picked the shift, this guy has already booked me an hotel or an Airbnb for me to stay for that period and everything in between that. And I was like, what? What is this? I didn't sign up for this. And then he was trying to threaten me that, I've already paid this if I don't do the shift and everything. I was like, you don't have to get to that. No problem. I'll do the shift. I've committed to it. Like I said, whatever I start, I finish it. Good. So I committed to it. I went there. I was just, it was just like, oh my goodness. It was just thrown under the water immediately. You either sink or you swim.
No training.
Exactly. And immediately I was like, you know what? I'm going to swim. So I did it. everybody liked me. Oh, they liked me, smile, everything. Even all the service users in the care home. Oh, they just liked me and everything. And they were like, I hope to see you soon. I said, I just smiled. And they said, never say never. But that experience was all I took. It wasn't a waste. Because in our sphere of our journey in life, everything matters. You just need to understand what it is. So I took that experience and I created Paduke. So you as an immigrant, you will never have that mistake of picking a shift and not knowing the location. So we put location based. You see the location, you see how much hours it's going to take, you know how much you will earn, you see all the DBS, everything in compliance. So we solve three main problems, which is first the recruitment part, then the compliance, then payroll. So everything from that space. That's what we solve with Paduke.
Amazing. And I did see something about the integration of AI as well to help match. So tell us about that. How you incorporated AI to do that?
Good. So we were like thinking about it. What can be our edge in this market? Because the healthcare sector is a very mature sector. It's not. It's not just a thriving or trending market. It's a matured market, and compliance is very, very high. We have the CQC compliance with GCB 0129. There are a lot of compliances that are in the healthcare sector. So how can we stand out? How can we be different? So we decided to put AI into the mix. And then we also coined our 42-factor matching algorithm, which is also something really, it's kind of like a marketing ploy. So we have like 42 different factors that we use to match each carer to a service user, from the location to their DBS, the training,
So the location where they are, proximity to
where the care is, to their DBS, their training, their right to work, their gender. You know, some of them don't want a female versus, you know, their likes, fear, phobia. Recently, we just added that as well. Some of them don't like to, you know, walk where there's their dogs. You get so. Everything matched to 42. And the reason why we also chose 42 was something really, really huge and core to the British culture. So it's kind of like the theory of the answer to the universe. And if you've ever watched that or read that book, the answer is 42. So we just use that, you know, and coined it as a matching algorithm. And it's been really amazing. We also linked it with, you know, retrieval augmented generation, RAG framework, as well as MCP. So we have different agents now that checks the validity of each DBS every time. So you never send any carer to the field who is not verified.
Amazing. And I know that in one of your posts recently, I know you were talking about the fact that for the first time, you finally have agencies reaching out to you for demos without you having to do all that marketing. How does it feel now to have built the business to that point where now you're seeing the traction and, you know, agencies are starting to reach out?
Yeah, to be honest, because it was quite a journey, because I remember vividly, like I was talking to Aderonke, and I was like, it was such an intensive 1 year. So Paduke started and we had zero traction. No one cared. No one gave us any audience at all. Even when people referred us, they did not show up. Even when people connected us and, you know, there's a conversation, okay, yeah, let's book a demo and everything, they still did not show up. Nothing was just working. Until one day, one of my friends, Paul Lancaster, introduced me. We were trying to solve the domiciliary care. Paul Lancaster introduced me to my friend, Amal Mirza, who is now a partner in the business. And, you know, was like, Paul, this business is not going anywhere. I need help. And I was like, okay, yeah, I want to see the system. And then I gave him a demo and he saw it and he was like, this is an amazing system. Oh, I'm thinking, who do I connect you with? And then he connected us. And we had a 180 pivot from domiciliary care to healthcare recruiting because there was a need for it. And then we started working on that, building on that and everything. So it was such a tough 1 year, with no traction, and all of a sudden we started building more marketing campaign into it. We started building AI into it. We started doing some more SEO and GEO as well. So right about now, I had a demo last week, and I asked the potential clients, because we have not closed them yet. And then I asked, how did you find out about us? And they said, through ChatGPT. And I was like, really? ChatGPT? I was like, right there on the call, I just healthcare scheduling application that uses AI. And to my surprise, Padocare was number one on the recommendation. I was like, what? I called the entire team, like, dude, everyone was like they were so excited. That's the word. Like, they were like, what? This is crazy. And that was it. So right about now, we're now showing up. We've grown the platform, and I can't even tell you this is what we're doing, right? Because a lot has gone into where we are right now.
Of course.
Exactly.
A lot of iteration. But that's a perfect segue to actually speak to that early stage founder who's watching this right now as well, who's still trying to figure it out, trying to find that perfect, market fit, and trying to say, look, can I go on? Can I make this work? I mean, thank God you had someone who you opened up to tell someone it's not working. And that conversation led to connections that led to, where you are now. What would be your message to that person, that founder who's also struggling now?
Yeah, to be honest, apart from mentorship, which you have already touched about, you need to find a mentor. Maybe we should first talk about the business idea. You talked about product market fits. There is no product without a market. It's the market that determines the product. The reason why I decided to chase Padocare is because healthcare is one of the top three largest employer of labor in the UK.
There's already a large market.
It's a large market. Yeah. There's a huge demand. There's a huge demand for it. It's demand led. I'm not trying to, because no. I'm not trying to create any demand. The demand is there. The healthcare sector is trying to go digital to about 80% in 2026. We have gone short of that by some percentage. Hence, Padocare is there to solve that problem. And now even with that currently, we have moving from paper-based to digital, and that is also going to create its own challenge itself. After we've gone digital, there's still going to be problem. Now it's going to be automation. So Padocare is ahead of the curve. When it goes to digital, we are going automation. So now, for a new founder just starting, the most important thing is this market viable? If it's a viable market, what is the market analysis you've done on it? Is it a market that you can go on it with? And remember, nothing starts easy. The fastest route to achieving success is the slow lane. The fastest route to achieving success is the slow lane. From your first 1 client to 10 clients, you have to do things that don't scale. You have to find out the structure of what doesn't scale. Everything that you're going to do in your first 10 clients you're not thinking scalability. You're thinking system. You're doing things that does not scale. From your first 10 clients to 100 clients, you now start building scalability into it. You now start building automation into it. But however, the first thing is you need to understand, is this market viable? If it's viable, go for it. And if it's viable, don't stop. Because oftentimes, many of us quit before we win. Many of us throw in the towel just moments before we achieve that success. If I'd thrown the towel away, we won't be here today. You need to stick to it. When you know that the market is viable, it's not about the product now. The market, then you solve the product. You bring a product that solves that problem, and there's a demand for it, you're good.
Give me 30 seconds to interrupt your interview very quickly. The reason I make these videos is because for far too long, the African story has been told by other people but us. And so, at Critical Factor, the core goal is to spotlight African excellence wherever it is across the world. And if that is something that resonates with you, please support the channel by simply subscribing to the channel and, of course, sharing this so that other people can see it. And without saying too much, let's get back to the interview.
You did mention now setbacks and difficulties and just pushing through it. And I know you've had your fair share of them as well, because I do know you mentioned as well. I saw one of your write-ups where you talked about having been denied the global talent visa the first time you applied. You know, and so, but now you're on that global talent visa, correct?
Yes, I am.
Now let's talk about how people can actually rise past adversity. Is there practical things you could tell people to do, who are facing setbacks or challenges at this time? What would you practically advise that person who is struggling? It could even be in school, in work, in business. What would be your strategy for overcoming setbacks like that?
I used to say something back in the days. Tell me how a square peg will not fit into a round hole, and I'll show you my soiled hand filled with blood and sweat and tears of how we made that square peg fit into that round hole. My question to anyone right now is, the challenges and setbacks are placed by the universe, by God, to shape us. The challenges are the road itself. Oftentimes we think the road is where we go. The challenge itself is the roadmap. When you surmount that, hence you can tell the story. What is life without challenges? What is life without challenges? People look at challenges and think about challenges as the roadmap. No, as the roadblock. Yeah. No, the challenges itself is the road. When you go through that, when you either have a detour or you climb through it or you surmount it, that is the road. That is what you need to achieve. And then the lessons from there is you can then write your book, you can share it to the world, and this is how I achieved it. That is where your own story comes from, because look at everyone that is celebrated in this world. It is the success of overcoming their challenges that we read about. It is their road. So we look at challenges as setback. The first thing I do when I receive a setback is I go and sleep. Because your emotions are all over the place. Your emotions are reacting to that current challenge. But right now I've built so much mental capacity that challenges, I just smile that, okay, oh, is that one? All right, so we'll do another one. So right now, I love challenges. I now love challenges because without challenges, you can't grow. It's just the same way without having any exam, we cannot move to the next class. How many exams did you have to do to move to where you are right now? Many. So those are the challenges. That's the road itself. So when you cross that challenge itself, you know what? You'll be able to move past. And also, it's always good to have an accountability partner. I remember just when you talked about the global talent, I applied for the global talent visa while during term time in having my project management master's degree, and I got denied. And I showed it to my wife, my partner, and she was like, Okare, this is not you. This is not a true representation of you on paper if someone does not know you and they want to read about you. And I took that feedback and went and I started going through my own journey and started writing. I never knew that, I've forgotten that I'd even gotten like global talent in Canada before. I'd forgotten. We just didn't want to go to Canada at that time. I'd forgotten about it. I'd forgotten about different things that I'd done. And because I was quiet, I slept on it, you will remember things. Things will come to you. You'll get the idea that, I need to speak to Ade about this. Ade is the right person to speak to about this. Oftentimes, when everything is noisy, you just need to quiet down. That's why I always sleep. So the first thing you do, shut the noise out. There was a king that wanted to create a picture of peace. And so many people, so many artists went on and drew different things. One drew a serene spring just flowing. Another drew different things like a beach just going. Someone drew like a garden different flowers, everything to represent peace. Another one just drew the clouds, in its glory to represent peace. But do you know the one that won?
Tell me.
I should tell you. You really want to hear it? The one that won is a representation of chaos, war going on, everything going on the ground, and there was a tree with a bird on it, and just putting the chicks to sleep. And that was really the representation of peace. The representation of peace is not an absence of chaos. It is you choosing peace to quiet down regardless of all the challenges that come. Challenges will come. So far you are alive, challenges are part of life. So far you are breathing, all our life is all about solving challenges. That's why we're in the marketplace. We get paid to solve problems.
That's right. Awesome. I love that. And I'm pretty sure someone felt that listening. The zebra is a zebra because of its stripes.
Because of its stripes.
And the challenges you face are most likely the same thing, the crucible for the things you're becoming.
Exactly.
Depending on how you use it.
Exactly.
You're one who's strong at building connections and community. You have over 60,000 connections on LinkedIn. You're a big voice out there. How important is it for African founders to also invest in building their online presence in this age that we're in?
You know what? The first thing that I got some years ago was that, Okare, you'll be replaced. It was so, AI was not the way it is. But I just immediately found it that everything has its time. I rode the technology wave. Oh, I made a lot of money. Oh, I made a lot of money. Because I learned mobile development when mobile was, devices.
Still in its infancy.
Yeah, exactly. Internet penetration, mobile penetration in Africa. I was a mobile app developer. So what? I was in demand. I was commanding the price. And at that time, I always say, if you are not earning ₦1 million, you've not started. Because I knew the value, I knew what you should get to. Then every of my friends, I always tell them, dude, this is the price you should. I started telling them how to price. But after a while, I realized that, I'll be replaced. And then I realized that my personal brand is one thing that can never be replaced. My CV can be replaced. My skills can be replaced. But me, as a personal brand, who I'm becoming, can never be replaced. Hence, I decided that my name, Okare Shaba, is now the brand. I stripped off Michael from my name and made it Okare Shaba. So you will never make any mistake of saying, who is that? If you click Okare Shaba, it is just me. I went on to build my personal brand because excellence that is in silence would never outshine mediocrity, who is outspoken. That's why you see so many mediocres who are well outspoken. You'll be like, why is this person so popular? It's so popular, but it's saying nonsense.
Empty.
It's empty. But you feel that, oh, you've got this stuff. You're not sharing anything. No one knows you. No one knows your name. You have to go through the process of building yourself. If you start something, don't finish. Don't end it until you finish it. It's the same thing with myself. I went on a 1-year posting spree on LinkedIn. It started from 1 like to 14 likes to 8 likes to this thing. Then at the time, it just picked up. There was a time that I would write a post, 100,000 views. Last year, I grossed about over 150 million impressions. 150 million people saw me last year. So at this point, I don't even really care so much about, 150 million people seeing me. I've been so focused on this business because it's really needing my attention right now. But still, I still post. You have to be intentional about showing up online because we are in the age where people are posting slop content, different things just going up and down. But the world is looking for true wisdom. We are in the age where information is a dime a dozen. You can, to become a millionaire, you just need to sort out. If you sort out some information and you do them in the next 1 year, if you can sort the right information, you'll get it. You will become a millionaire because the information is out there. Now the question is, how do you filter the noise from the real signal? So we have no choice but to prioritize showing up online. My first post for this year was mediocrity would outperform excellence if excellence does not show up.
I like that. And so if you are to give, framework, 3-part framework, a 5-part framework to someone who's just looking to start building their personal brand, what would you tell them? What are the steps they could take to start doing that today?
Post what you talk about. Post what you believe in. So if you wake me today, you can see it on my socials. I post about what I believe in. So I am not trying to be nice so you like me. I don't care if you like me or not. I'm just here to share my worldview to the world. Those who resonate with that worldview, interestingly, 60,000 people resonate with that. And if you don't resonate with it, that's fine. You are not here to come and please people. What you can share about, what you're passionate about, what you think will bring value to the marketplace. If you share that, if they wake you up, and if they wake me up and say, okay, come and talk about powder care, I'll tell you. Oh, we're leading digital transformation in the health and social care. And we're so passionate about making sure that elderly people live a life of dignity before they leave this earth. Because I want to grow old. And I want a system, a solution that will be there for me to cater for me when I'm at that age. Guess what? Since I have the resources and the wherewithal to create it, why not I create it? Why do I need to wait for someone? So if you want the world, whatever message, everyone's got a message for the world. Whatever it is that you have to share, all you do is this. Record yourself ranting about it. Just talk about it, record yourself. Record yourself about subjects that you are passionate about, that you want to talk about, or something you're learning. It could just be something that you're learning. Maybe you're learning cybersecurity. Rant about it. Get used to talking about it. Record yourself. That's when you're recording, you're not sharing it. You want to get used to talking about that subject. The next thing you then do is lower the volume to the last. It's not saying anything. Then watch yourself. How do you look? How do you look on that when you watch yourself? Then you see where you need to adjust and when you need to, correct. And then you continue. You do that again. And then the next thing is increase the volume to the loudest and turn it. Don't look at yourself. Hear how you sound. So when you hear how you sound, then you're good to go. You have a topic you're passionate about. You know how you sound. You adjust how you sound. And then you know how you look. So those three, then talk about it every day. Post every day. You'll find your tribe. You'll find your community. Because no one is created for themselves. If you look at everything in creation, even the tree was not created for itself. Even the tree gives oxygen to sustain the human race. And the human race give out our waste, carbon dioxide. We sustain equally the tree. No one was created for themselves.
The cycle of life.
That is it. If you want to achieve more, give more. Awesome. So many people always want to take from me. I'm so happy to give. They think I'm naive now. I'm not. I give. It is a law of giving. And I don't expect anything back from you when I do give.
Just going on the back of what you just said now about, posting what you believe in. You're someone who is very vocal about your faith. You don't hide it. How important is your faith to you and your journey and your success so far?
My faith is all about me. I am my faith. My faith is me. I was having a chat with my mentor business partner, and it fixed the meeting on Sunday, and I was like, sorry, I won't be able to make it because I have to go to church with my family. And then the next day it was like, oh, I like the fact that you take. I'm like, dude, man, that is
Non-negotiable.
non-negotiable, because there are principles that guide things. It's either you are in the world or you are of the world, or whatever identity you are. So I live by an identity, a set principle, and there are laws that govern that. I don't cheat people in business because the law of my faith does not permit that. I show up early. You are like, oh, I showed up early today because, to whom much is given, much is expected. When you ask me for a mile, I go 2 miles, I over-deliver. That is it. I go by my own laws, by my own rules, by my own faith. I don't write that I'm a Christian. I don't even say it. I don't say it. I say, by thy fruit you shall know them. If I wasn't having my podcast, you would never see it. You will not put Christian this thing. No, that's not it. It is the relationship that you have with God. When I found God, I was in deep pits. I was looking for so many things. I was lost. I was looking for power. I was looking for money. I was everywhere. Everything was pulling me in different direction as a young guy growing up. I was greedy. And when I found my faith, everything changed. And that's when they say, Okare, you've changed. All the friends that we used to go to clubs together, I don't judge them. We're still cool, but we don't hang out together anymore because my circle changed. Everything about me changed. I don't judge people at all. I even have more relationship with them because it's not when you go to church that you show that it's in the marketplace. Go to Cosmos and bear fruit. Bear good fruit so that they will now say, even this smile, it's not my smile. It's not my smile. It's God that gave me this smile. There's nothing that I have. The energy that I have, I can go a mile, I work ethic. I do not have this. As a child, I failed primary 4. So where did this wisdom come from? Where did it come from? Where did this wisdom come from? I literally built an AI system in less than a week. I built it. Where did it come from? It's not mine. It's not mine. So when I'm there, I'm asking God, give me wisdom. I don't ask for money. I ask for wisdom. I don't ask for money. I don't ask for things. I ask for wisdom. So my faith and me are one.
Okay. And on that note, we will wrap up. We have a closing tradition where we have the guests tell us what they believe is the critical factor to the success of their life. I know you've touched on many things, but if there was one thing you could say is the critical factor to my success that I believe is essential to my journey, what would that be for you?
The most critical factor. It's wrapped in one and the same, God and love, because they are the same thing. God is love, love is God, God is love. So I'll say, it's not of he that willeth or it's not of he that runneth, but it's God who shows mercy. So it's all been God. It's all been God because it says, okay, my internship that I had, I just woke up and something was pressed in my spirit. Go to the department. It was closed. It was closed. But I went there and I met an old mentor. And I was like, oh, I just came back to the country. And boom. So would I have been able to plan that? God. When I started my first business, Just finished my exam, slept, wake up. There's something about sleeping and waking up that is just powerful. Because the world is always moving. If we can quiet down, we can find our own unique edge. And I was taking a walk and I walked down, and then somebody was just trying to reach out to me, and he was calling me from behind, and he was like, hey, hi, hi, speaking in an American accent. And that's how we started our first company. And I employed all the first class students. Me, that was just a 2-1 student. So, it's God and love. And love because you love one another, love others, because I've seen people shower love on me. And that's why I have no iota of it. Hatred, envy, it's all love. It's all love.
It's all love.
That's it, bro.
It's all love. Amazing. Thank you so much for being on the show. It's been amazing having you. And of course, we'll leave your contacts there for anyone who's interested in using Paddle Care or finding more about you. It will be all there. But yeah, it's been amazing. And that's a wrap. We'll keep looking forward to the amazing things you yet do, brother.